So Calvin Ridley supposed to be their number one wide receiver. He just hasn't been living up to that billing. Welcome to Just the Stats NFL, the show that covers the NFL statistical leaders from the all-time greats to the current players leading the NFL. I'm Ernie Jennings, your host. And in this podcast, we're doing a pregame of the Titans versus the Cardinals. Two teams that wish they were doing a little bit better, but we'll see how it goes here. Tennessee Titans at the Arizona Cardinals. This is a 4:00 game. Look at the home team here. The Arizona Cardinals are 2-2. Top 10s to watch for in this game as far as the Arizona Cardinals. We don't have any, unfortunately, at this time. Now, for the Tennessee Titans, they are 0-4. Top 10s to watch for them is Jeffrey Simmons on defense. Right now, he is tied for 6th all-time in Tennessee Titans history for tackles for loss with 54. So he's tied with Derek Morgan, who played from 2010 to 2018. Next up for Jeffrey Simmons is Javon Curse. Great player, played from 99 to 2009. He's got 56 tackles for loss. So that's the next one up for Jeffrey Simmons. So that's all the top 10s to watch for in this game. All right, so let's take a check out of the game itself. These are two teams that just are struggling on offense. The Cardinals are averaging 20.5 points, which is good enough for 23rd in the NFL. But the Tennessee Titans are averaging less than 13 points a game. They are worst in the NFL as far as scoring goes. So they are just not scoring many points. Looking at some of the reasons why this may be on offense for the Titans, almost dead last. They're 31st in passing efficiency. Now, the Cardinals' defense isn't great. They're 21st. So that may help out Cam Ward. Cam Ward has played some incredibly difficult defenses, I believe. So we'll see if he ever can get a team that's not, the defense isn't quite so hard for him. And then on rushing efficiency for the Titans, they're 25th, but the Cardinals' defense against the rush is really good. They're 8th right now. Now, looking at the Cardinals' offense, it has also not been very good. They're 20th in the NFL in passing, while the Titans' defense is 26th against the pass. And unfortunately for the Titans, they're worse actually against the run. They're 31st against the run, while the Cardinals are 15th. Now, the Cardinals have had some major difficulties. Connor is out for the year, and then Trey Benson's out probably for a certain amount of time as well. So they are not having any luck at the running back position. It's unfortunate for them right now. All right, let's look at some of these, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. But looking at the Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward is averaging 178 yards a game. Just having a hard time, really. Tony Pollard is averaging almost 71 yards a game. Calvin Ridley, to me, is the issue here. He was supposed to be their best wide receiver by far, and he just hasn't been showing it, to be truthful. Looking at the wide receivers, hang on a second. So Calvin Ridley, supposed to be their number one wide receiver. He just hasn't been living up to that billing. He's averaging 3.6 receptions a game and only just over 50 yards a game right now. Just not that good. Now, Elik Ayamaner has actually been averaging just a little better than Calvin Ridley as far as receptions per game, and he's averaging almost 43 yards a game. So he's honestly becoming the number one wide receiver for Cam Ward, which is a shame because he needed more help than just that. Ridley should have stepped up. He hasn't been able to step up and be the wide receiver. I don't know if that he's actually a number one. maybe on a team where he could be the number 2 wide receiver, he'd have a better shot at producing some good numbers. Now their tight end also been averaging a little over almost 3.5 yard receptions a game and about 31 yards a game. That's Chig Okonkwo, their tight end. So you got 3 players all basically averaging around 3.5 catches a game and averaging about 42 yards a game. That is just not enough. You need somebody who can step out and be the guy. Tony Pollard has averaged about 1.5 receptions a game. So there's another one. But Cam Ward just doesn't have the support he needs on offense. Now, looking at the Arizona Cardinals, well, Kyler Murray's averaging over 204 yards a game passing. That's not enough for him, honestly. And now, like I said, they've lost their two of their 1 and 2 number running back. Now they're stuck with Emari Demercado. And I don't mean to say that negatively. I don't mean stuck with, but he's the guy that's going to have to step up. Now, fortunately for them, he is pretty good out of the backfield. So we'll see how he can do this taking on the lead role here. Marvin Harrison needs to step up even more than he has. It's still not a good connection between Murray and Harrison. And Harrison's averaging 4 catches a game and about 55 yards a game. That definitely needs to go up for them to be competitive on a regular basis. Michael Wilson's their other wide receiver. He's averaging 2 catches a game for only 26 yards. It's just not a very consistent game. The leading receiver obviously is Trey McBride, who is averaging almost 7 catches a game for 64 yards, but not really hitting the touchdown too well. So those are your leading receivers, and you do have a backup to the backup as your number 1 running back now. So they're struggling there. Kyler Murray really has to pick up his game and be more consistent, and he may have to do even more running than he talked about. He's been rushing for about 46 yards a game, which is actually a decent amount. That's that's almost as much as the running back himself, Emari Demercado, is doing. So they might have to split that. Murray's going to really have to take this team on his shoulders without Connor or Benson in the backfield. All right. Now, the last game, the Arizona Cardinals have had such a rough time winning a game. They're 2-2. They lost to Seattle in Arizona. Another game where there was a good chance they could win this game, but they lost to Seattle 23-20. On the other hand, Tennessee I hope they're not giving up basically, but they lost 26-0. Their offense could not do anything against the Houston Texans. So they ended up losing 26-0. That's ugly. Now they play Arizona in Arizona. So we'll see what happens there. What I'm going to tell you is I predict that the Arizona Cardinals win this game. They do lead the series 8-4, and I think they're going to tack another one onto that series in the win column for them. So I'm picking the Arizona Cardinals to defeat the Tennessee Titans this Sunday. With that, that's it for this episode. Please like and subscribe. You can find me at YouTube at Just the Stats NFL. Also on the podcast sites, Apple and Spotify, as well as podcast apps. You can find me there. Leave a comment if you'd like. Also, you can send me emails if you need to at justthestatsnfl@gmail.com. All right, with that is a wrap. I'm on to my next pregame podcast. I'm out.